When was the last time you seen Tupac?
The last time I saw Tupac is in one of Dre and Snoop and all of them had these apartments on a street called Wilshire Boulevard. They were like these high-rise apartments, and I don't know what we went over there for, but I was a Superfly priest, and we drove over there for something. I don't know what, and we went upstairs. Everybody was up there, Tupac, and I stayed there for a minute, not long. We said, "Hey, I can't remember what we went for though." But Priest would remember Superfly. Yeah, but and that's the last time I saw him. We said hello. He was cool. He was kind of somber that day, and that was it. That's the last time I saw him.
Right, right. So that was the last time you seen Tupac. I want to get into this Las Vegas incident with Tupac and Suge Knight. How did you find out Tupac got shot in Vegas?
I was home in LA, and I think Johnny J might have told me, or maybe Dre, because I know Dre called me and told me that he went to visit him in the hospital. And he gave me a little info, not a lot. I mean, he gave me some info, but he's probably going to tell the story one day. So I'll leave that for Dre to tell again. But I know he told me that, Dre was really sad. I remember that. He was really sad about it. And he said that he went to the hospital and one of Pac's fingers was shot off or something like that. And he told me a couple other things. And he said it was just sad. I remember him being very sad and disbelief. It was just a somber time. It was like when he went to visit Easy, because Dre told me about that. It was the same thing. He said it was crazy, just really sad.
So Dr. Dre was giving you inside info about how severe Tupac injuries was?
Yeah, yeah. That's why, like, when people say that he's still alive, he is not. He's not. And Dre confirmed that with me. He was like, nah, it was a wrap. And it was really sad.
So when he was giving you inside info about how severe Tupac injuries was, did he go more into detail about Tupac injuries?
Well, let me see. I think I was like, oh, he was just saying that I don't think he had passed then. I think maybe he was, he was in the hospital, so I don't think he passed at that point. But, Dre was like, it was looking bad. I think by the time I talked to Dre, he had passed. So Dre was just telling me what happened when he went to the hospital, and, the mood in the room, it was sad. And, he just told me that one thing, maybe a couple other things, which I won't say, but I know his finger was shot off, and, he was just in bad shape. And that's basically all he told me. And he was just telling me besides telling me how sad he was about the whole situation and how he couldn't believe it, it's just like, it's unbelievable when stuff like that happens. The people you work with are so young, you're close to, and, everybody thought Pac was invincible. I thought he was going to make it, too. I really thought he was going to make it. And when he didn't, because, he had made it he'd been shot a couple, before he had made it through in an incident, and, you just thought he was invincible. But so when he died, that kind of shocked everybody. It was like, dang, it really happened,
Do you think Tupac joining Death Row was his downfall?
Well, yeah, I think joining Death Row the way with the people he did, even though Dre was gone by then, but, like I said before, if he had came and hung around Dre and us, I think he would be alive, because we had a whole different vibe. There was no drama, no violence. It was just about creating and music and trying to take care of yourself, eat right, work out, blah, 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 get ready for performance. And that should have been his focus anyway, because that's what he was about. He was always creating, and, he didn't need that other distraction. That was, and that wasn't, I didn't know him that well, but I don't think that was his nature anyway. Because this part I saw a part of him that was, decent, nice, and, he was always that way. He wasn't, instigating. He was just trying to create and be a good person, and show his respect and show his thanks for people that helped him or worked with him. And, that's, I just wish he had not been around a certain element.
Right, right. But I want to speak on Suge Knight right quick. Do you think Suge Knight had a bad influence on Tupac?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little? if you don't mind?
Well, I just know, I knew Suge before, and I knew, I knew what he was about. I've seen him do things. I've seen him, try to do things to me. And I think that when people aren't part of the talent, they're not thinking about creating. I think those people, I think once you get in this industry and you're not talented, and then you get a taste of it and you see how good it is, how much money you can make, how much fun you can have. I think that when you're not talented, you have to try to hold on to something. You try to hold on to the talent or take control. And then when you lose that, you start lashing out. And, there's a lot of jealousy involved, competition, especially if you're not talented. Because, once you taste that and then the people that are responsible for you experiencing that leave, and you're like, I don't have anything. What am I going to do? And you start lashing out at the people who left. And, people get jealous. They just, that's how it is. And I think he might have used Tupac to help him, get back at people, do whatever. So I think that was why that's why I think Tupac should not have been around that influence.
Out of curiosity, you made a comment earlier and you said Suge Knight did some things to you. So if you don't mind, can you go more into detail about that? What is some of the stuff Suge Knight did to you?
Well, the only thing I'll say is, like I said, anybody that Dre liked or paid attention to, he didn't like, because he wanted Dre to do what he wanted him to do. And Dre didn't want to do it. And, Dre wanted to work with me. And Suge had people that he wanted Dre to work with, but Dre didn't want to work with him. So, of course, he got mad at me as if I had something to do with that. That's how it is. If people want somebody's attention and that person gives somebody else attention, they're going to get mad at the person that gets the attention. And there's nothing I could do. I was nice to everybody. I worked hard. I didn't, I wasn't sleeping around or anything. It was just business. And I was nice to everybody, but no matter what I did, it didn't matter. If Dre paid attention to me, everybody else would be mad. And, that was Suge's whole thing. So there was a couple of times when, Dre would do things for me. He didn't like it. He would get mad at me. He would kind of make little threats. But I'm telling you, I've never had an issue with Suge where he would say anything to my face. He was always nice, respectful. I must have had a guardian angel around me, because I was not scared of him. If I had to do something and I couldn't do it, I would go to him like, why? What's up with this? Why? Whatever. But I never really had I didn't have to deal with him a lot, because I was always with Dre. I didn't have to deal with him. But when I did, he was always respectful, and I wasn't scared of anything. But I really didn't know what I was dealing with at the time. I didn't really know how he was at that time, So I didn't have a reason to fear. So, but I came out of there unscathed, thank God. And I just thank God for that. That's what I was saying.